Do you love this piece? Or do you hate this piece? We're going to bring up 3 reasons why this and other pieces by Yiruma, Ainadi, different anime composers, different video game composers, give you that feeling of, wow, this is so beautiful, or I cannot stand this. Let's first talk about the harmony. We have 6, 4, 1, 5. What am I talking about? I'm using the numbers. So 6 is the minor chord. It starts minor, but it immediately goes to the 4, which is kind of the suspension. Then we go to 1, where it feels finally settled, but then back to 5, which creates a little bit of tension again. There's a reason why this chord progression is used so much. In many ways, this is probably like the 2nd most used chord progression in modern times, maybe the 3rd most, because you've got 1, 5, 6, 4 that people love. You also have 4, 5, 6, which people love. But 6, 4, 1, 5 is a really big favorite. A couple things about this. The first is it's familiar. It feels familiar. It's like nostalgia just in your brain, right? It also is that change in mood. It's like, oh, I'm about to cry. Okay, a little bit of hope, a little bit more. Okay, determination, but then back to sadness. It's like this cycle where we just keep going from one thing that we want to the next thing that we want to the next thing that we want, a little disappointment, but then it keeps going. It's beautiful. That's the first thing that I would say is the harmonic structure. The second thing I want to talk about is the melody. And why am I putting melody in quotation marks? It's because it's sort of a melody, but it's also not. And this is true of like Ainadi songs. This is true of a lot of anime songs. They kind of have a melody. So why am I saying kind of a melody? Because the melody is moving too much. It's spanning octaves. And if you know anything about melody writing, it starts to break our sense of what is singable. And so it starts to make it feel more like a feeling. Look at me being a walking, thesaurus right now. It starts to evoke more feelings compared to, say, a melody that you would actually want to sing, right? So let's compare that, for example, to something similar in vibe, but in actual sing-a-bell melody. So gymnopédie. Ya ba dee da da, ya da da da. Instead, we have da da da. That's fine. Ya da da, ba da da ba da 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 da. Parts of it are singable, but not the whole thing. And you may go, well, that's a terrible idea. That's not going to work. But as I said before, when you can't really sing it, it starts to do something else to you. It's not like it hits you as this narrative that you're following. It hits you more like it's a backdrop. So instead of seeing a character in a scene that you're focused on, you're hearing the rain falling. Does that make sense? It's like a landscape painting versus a portrait, right? And so when we hear this melody, it's personable enough, but it's not so personable that we get pulled into a character and then we're stuck there. Like, listen to this. Immediately, I have a very iconic idea in my head, right? In the Hall of Mountain King, I see the king stomping around. Not so with this melody. Now, the final thing that I want to bring up is, I'm going to call it the canon in D effect. What is the canon in D effect? It's when you keep playing the same chords over and over again, and the way you build upon it, the way you create interest is not B sections or C sections or D sections. It's doing variations on that one thing you're doing over and over again. So you have this part, right? And then you go ba ba da da ba. Why is this so effective at building camaraderie and a fanship of this? It's because, again, it's very palatable. I can understand it. It's at a pacing that even a non-musician can really wrap their hands around and get. Also, it's very inoffensive, right? Like, imagine we switch sections and it's not your favorite section, right? Let's take For Elise, for example. Maybe you love this section and you even love this part, right? But then we get to, how many people love that section? Like, how many people love the F major part? I'd say a lot less than the beginning. Imagine instead if For Elise was just that same first section over and over again with slight variation. Be a very different piece, but in many ways it would almost be more palatable to a general audience than the way it currently is written. Why am I bringing up all these things? It's to let you understand that there's no real wrong way to write music, and in many ways, it's always surprising what gets lodged into the collective consciousness as an important piece of music. But at the same time, I do think there are little clues. And if you like River Flows in You, maybe this gave you a little more ammunition and a little more understanding of the why. And if you don't like River Flows in You, maybe this helps you be slightly more empathetic to those that constantly go on about me playing it in my live streams.